So, I have a challenge for you. It sounds simple, but it's probably one of the hardest things you could do today. Try to go a full 24 hours without your smartphone. No scrolling through social media feeds first thing in the morning. No checking emails while you wait for your coffee. No quick texts to your friends or snapping a picture of your lunch. It feels almost impossible, right? Our phones have become extensions of ourselves, woven into every single moment of our daily lives. They are our navigators, our cameras, our encyclopedias, and our connection to the world. The thought of being without one can bring on a genuine sense of anxiety. This deep reliance on our devices is something we've all accepted as normal. We reach for our phones without even thinking about it, a reflex built up over years of constant use. That little glass rectangle holds so much of our world, from our work schedules to our most personal memories. But what if there was another way? What if technology could give us back our time and attention instead of constantly demanding it? We're starting to see a new wave of innovation that asks this very question. It's a movement that wants to give us all the power of modern computing, but without the endless distraction of a glowing screen. Imagine a world where you could get the information you need, complete tasks, and stay connected without ever having to pull a device from your pocket and stare at it. This isn't science fiction anymore. A new category of gadgets is emerging, built around a simple but revolutionary idea: to let AI handle the complexities of the digital world for you. These devices promise a future where technology works in the background, assisting you seamlessly throughout your day. It's a bold vision that challenges the very foundation of how we've interacted with tech for the last 15 years. The goal is to be more present in our own lives. This essay is an exploration of that future. Today, July 2nd, 2025, we are standing at a fascinating crossroads. We'll dive into the evolution of smart assistants that led us here, from the simple voice commands of yesterday to the proactive AI partners of tomorrow. We'll take a close look at the devices leading this charge, like the much-hyped Rabbit R1 and the sleek Humane AI pin. We'll explore how they work, what makes them different, and whether they can realistically replace the smartphone. This is a journey into what might just be the next big shift in personal technology. So, let's get into it. Let's take a step back and look at how we got here. The idea of a smart assistant isn't new. For many of us, it all started with Siri on the iPhone back in 2011. It was revolutionary at the time. You could ask your phone a question, and it would talk back with an answer. You could set a timer, send a text, or ask about the weather using just your voice. It felt like the future had arrived. Soon after, we saw the rise of Amazon's Alexa and the Google Assistant, which brought this voice-first interaction into our homes through smart speakers. These assistants became part of the family for many people. These first-generation assistants were great at following direct commands. They operated on a simple question-and-answer model. You ask, they answer. You command, they execute. What's the weather like? Set an alarm for 7 a.m. Play my workout playlist. They were incredibly useful for these specific single-step tasks. However, they were also quite limited. They couldn't really understand context or handle complex multi-step requests. They waited for you to tell them what to do. They were reactive, not proactive. They were helpful tools, but they weren't true partners in managing our digital lives. The real game changer has been the recent explosion in large language models, or LLMs. This is the technology that powers advanced AI like ChatGPT. These models can understand nuance, remember past conversations, and even anticipate your needs. This leap forward has transformed our digital assistants from simple command takers into something much more powerful. Instead of just answering a question, they can now help you plan, create, and organize. They are becoming proactive partners that can learn your habits and preferences to offer help before you even ask for it. This is the core idea behind the next generation of AI devices. So, the evolution has been from a reactive assistant to a proactive agent. Imagine an assistant that knows you have a flight tomorrow. Without you asking, it checks the traffic, monitors the flight status, and suggests the best time to leave for the airport. It can even book a ride for you. This is the promise of the new AI, an intelligent layer that works on your behalf, navigating the complex web of apps and services for you. It's a fundamental shift from us having to manage our technology to our technology starting to manage our digital world for us. And that shift is what makes these new phone-free devices possible. Now let's look at the hardware that's trying to make this screen-free future a reality. Two devices have captured everyone's attention: the Rabbit R1 and the Humane AI pin. They look very different, but they share a common goal: They want to free you from the endless cycle of opening and closing apps on your phone. First up is the Rabbit R1. It's a small, bright orange square device that fits in your palm. It has a small screen, but it's not for scrolling. It also has a physical scroll wheel, a push-to-talk button, and a cool rotating camera that can look forward or backward. It's designed to be fun and approachable. The magic of the Rabbit R1 isn't its hardware, but its software. It runs on what the company calls a large action model, or LAM. Think of it this way. While a large language model understands and generates human language, a large action model understands and executes human intentions on computer interfaces. You can tell the R1 to do complex things like book an Uber for 4 people to go from my office to the airport in 20 minutes. The R1's AI then goes and interacts with the Uber app's interface in the cloud on your behalf to get it done. It's like giving a skilled assistant a task and trusting them to figure out the steps. Then we have the Humane AI Pin. This device is even more minimalist. It's a small, screenless square that attaches to your clothing with a magnet. Its primary interface is your voice, but it has another trick up its sleeve. It features a tiny laser projector that can display information directly onto the palm of your hand. You can see who's calling, check the weather, or see a translation appear right on your skin. It's controlled by a combination of voice commands and simple hand gestures, which are tracked by its camera. The whole idea is to make technology feel more integrated and less intrusive. Both of these devices are designed to be your primary connection to the digital world, but in a completely new way. They are not about browsing or consumption, they are about intention and action. You have a thought, you speak it, and the device makes it happen. The Rabbit R1 aims to be a universal controller for all your apps, while the Humane AI Pin aims to be an ambient computer that's always with you but never in your way. They represent 2 different philosophies on how to solve the same problem: our unhealthy relationship with the smartphone screen. They are the first real attempts at a new paradigm in computing. The biggest and most obvious difference between these new AI devices and a smartphone is the lack of a large interactive screen. This isn't a bug, it's the main feature. Our smartphones are built around the screen. Everything we do, from communication to navigation to entertainment, happens on that glowing rectangle. This design has led to a culture of constant distraction. We get pulled into endless feeds, notifications, and apps, often losing track of time and the world around us. The goal of devices like the Rabbit R1 and Humane AI Pin is to break that cycle by removing the screen as the primary interface. Instead of a touch screen, these devices rely on more natural forms of interaction. Voice is the main input. You simply speak your request, just as you would to another person. This is far more efficient for many tasks than tapping through multiple menus on a phone. For output, they use a combination of audio responses and, in the case of the Humane Pin, a unique laser projection system. You get the information you need and then the device gets out of your way. There's no home screen to organize, no app store to browse, and no infinite scroll to get lost in. It's a fundamentally different user experience. This approach also allows for a more personalized and intelligent form of assistance. Because these devices are built around a central AI agent, they can develop a deeper understanding of you over time. They learn your preferences, your routines, and your contacts. This allows them to be proactive. A smartphone is a toolbox with many different tools, apps, that you have to pick up and use yourself. An AI device is more like a personal assistant who already knows which tools to use and how to use them to accomplish your goals. The intelligence is baked into the core of the system, not siloed within individual applications. So the difference is not just about hardware, it's about philosophy. Smartphones are designed to maximize your engagement and keep you looking at the screen. They are portals to a vast digital world that you navigate manually. Screen-free AI devices are designed to minimize your engagement with the device itself. They act as filters or agents, dipping into that same digital world on your behalf to retrieve information or perform actions, and then presenting the result to you in the simplest way possible. It's a shift from active participation to passive delegation. It lets you stay present in the physical world while your AI agent handles the digital chores. So, what would a typical day look like with one of these AI companions instead of a smartphone? Let's imagine it for a second. You wake up, and instead of grabbing your phone, you just ask your AI device, "What's on my schedule today and what's the weather?" It reads you your first few appointments and tells you to grab a jacket because it's going to be cool this morning. While you're getting ready, you ask it to play your favorite morning podcast. There's no screen, no unlocking, no finding the app. You just ask, and it happens. It's a smoother, more natural start to the day. On your commute, you need to reply to an urgent message from a colleague. You simply dictate the message and tell your AI to send it. Later you remember you need to buy a birthday gift for a friend. You ask your AI, find top-rated wireless headphones under $150 and order them to be delivered to my house. The AI confirms the details and places the order for you. You didn't have to open a browser, search through a shopping site, or enter your payment details. The whole process took about 10 seconds of your time. This is where the power of an action-oriented AI really starts to shine. Throughout the workday, the device can act as a powerful productivity tool. Imagine you're in a meeting with international partners. Someone is speaking a language you don't understand. You activate the translation feature, and your AI pin whispers the translation directly into your ear in real time. Later you see an interesting poster on the street. You point your device's camera at it and ask, "What is this event, and can you add it to my calendar?" The AI uses its vision capabilities to read the text, understand the context, and create a calendar entry. It's about seamlessly bridging the gap between the physical and digital worlds. As your day winds down, you might be planning dinner with friends. Instead of a group chat mess, you can just say, "Find a good Italian restaurant near the city center that has a table for 3 at 7 p.m. tonight." Your AI checks for options, looks at reviews, and confirms availability before presenting you with the best choice. It can even book the table for you. The promise here is not just convenience, but also a sense of peace. By offloading these digital tasks, you free up mental energy and attention to focus on the people and experiences right in front of you. You get to live your life, while your AI handles the logistics. When we talk about devices that are always on and always listening, the conversation naturally turns to privacy. It's a huge concern, and for good reason. Companies behind devices like the Humane AI Pin and Rabbit R1 know this is a critical issue they have to get right. Their approach is often different from the big tech companies that dominate the smartphone market. For example, many of these new devices are designed not to be always listening. They only activate when you physically engage with them, like by tapping the device or pressing a button. They also often include clear visual indicators like a trust light to show you when the camera or microphone is active. Furthermore, the business model for many of these new companies is not based on advertising. Device makers are trying to build a different model. They typically charge for the device itself, and then a monthly subscription for the data and AI services. This means their primary customer is you, not advertisers. Their incentive is to protect your data and provide a great service, not to sell your personal information to the highest bidder. This is a fundamental shift that could lead to a healthier, more private digital life. Beyond privacy, there's also an environmental aspect to consider. The smartphone industry has a massive environmental footprint. We are encouraged to upgrade our phones every 1 or 2 years, leading to a staggering amount of electronic waste. These complex devices are filled with precious metals and are difficult to recycle. A smaller, simpler AI device could have a longer lifespan. Since most of the heavy computing is done in the cloud, the physical device doesn't need to be upgraded as frequently to keep up with the latest software. You could potentially keep the same hardware for many years, with the AI capabilities improving constantly through cloud updates. This model could lead to a more sustainable relationship with our technology. Instead of throwing away a perfectly good device just to get a slightly faster processor or a better camera, we could hold on to our hardware for much longer. The modular design of something like the Humane AI Pin, with its swappable battery boosters, also points toward a more repairable and sustainable future. If we can move away from the cycle of constant upgrades that defines the smartphone market, we could significantly reduce our collective electronic waste and build a more responsible tech industry. It's an optimistic view, but it's a potential benefit worth considering. The impact of smartphones on children and teenagers is, a topic of constant debate among parents and educators. The endless distractions of social media, games, and videos can have a negative effect on focus, mental health, and social development. This is another area where screen-free AI devices could offer a pretty compelling alternative. Just imagine giving a child a device that connects them to the power of the internet and AI for learning and communication, but without the addictive qualities of a screen. It could be a powerful tool for education and creativity, free from the pitfalls of a traditional smartphone. For younger children, these devices could be incredible learning companions. They could function as interactive storytellers, creating new adventures on the fly based on the child's prompts. A child could ask, "Tell me a story about a brave knight who was friends with a dragon," and the AI could generate a unique tale. They could also answer endless why questions with patience and accuracy, acting as a personal tutor. Why is the sky blue? How do caterpillars turn into butterflies? The device could provide age-appropriate answers, fostering curiosity and a love for learning without exposing them to the unfiltered and often inappropriate content of the open internet. For older students, these AI assistants could be invaluable study aids. A high schooler could use the device to get help with their homework. They could ask it to explain a complex scientific concept, practice vocabulary for a foreign language test, or summarize a long historical text. The AI could act as a research assistant, quickly finding information and citing sources. Because the interaction is conversational and action-oriented, it encourages focused learning on a specific task, rather than getting lost down a rabbit hole of web browsing and video watching that often happens when a student uses a laptop or phone for research. The key benefit here is focus. By removing the screen, you remove the primary source of digital distraction. This could help young people develop better concentration skills and be more present in their offline activities. A device that can send and receive messages from a parent-approved list of contacts provides safety and connection without the social pressures and dangers of mainstream social media platforms. It's a way to introduce technology as a useful tool, rather than solely as a source of entertainment and consumption. This could be a healthier first step into the digital world for the next generation. The launch of the Rabbit R1 and Humane AI Pin is just the beginning. This is not some niche trend happening in a corner of the tech world. All of the major players are watching this space very closely, and you can be sure they are working on their own versions of this technology, expertise, and the user base. It is only a matter of time before they start integrating more proactive, agent-like AI into their products. We are already seeing hints of this from the big tech companies. Google is integrating its powerful Gemini AI more deeply into the Android operating system and Google Assistant. Apple is expected to announce major AI upgrades for Siri and iOS. These companies understand that the future of user interfaces is moving beyond taps and swipes. They will likely start by enhancing their existing products, smartphones, smartwatches, and earbuds, with more powerful AI capabilities. Imagine AirPods that can not only play music but also provide real-time translation and whisper contextual information to you throughout your day. The market is likely to split into two camps. On one side you'll have the dedicated standalone AI devices like Rabbit and Humane. These will appeal to early adopters and people who are actively trying to reduce their screen time and use their phones less. On the other side you'll have the big tech giants who will try to bake this new AI intelligence into the devices we already own. Your smartphone might stay in your pocket more often as you interact with its AI through your watch or your earbuds. The phone would become the central brain, while smaller, more convenient devices become the primary points of interaction. Looking further into the future, we can expect to see this technology become even more seamless and invisible. The next step beyond a pin on your shirt could be smart glasses that look indistinguishable from regular eyeglasses, overlaying helpful information onto the world around you. Or perhaps even more advanced hearables that act as your personal audio coach and assistant. The race is on to create the most natural and intuitive interface between humans and AI. The ultimate goal for these companies is to build an AI companion that is so helpful and integrated into your life that you can't imagine living without it. While the vision of a screen-free future is exciting, we have to be realistic. There are some major challenges that these new AI devices need to overcome before they can truly replace the smartphone. The first and most obvious hurdle is technology. In these early days, the devices are not always as fast, reliable, or capable as their polished marketing videos suggest. Sometimes the AI misunderstands a request, the connection to the cloud is slow, or the battery life doesn't last a full day. For these devices to go mainstream, they need to work flawlessly, almost every single time. Users have very little patience for technology that fails them. Another significant barrier is human habit. We have spent over a decade training our brains to interact with the world through a smartphone screen. We are used to the visual feedback of apps, the muscle memory of typing on a virtual keyboard, and the satisfaction of scrolling through a feed. Shifting to a voice-first or gesture-based interface requires a real change in behavior. It's a new skill to learn. Many people may find it awkward to talk to a device in public, or they may simply prefer the visual richness and control that a screen provides for certain tasks, like editing photos or browsing for a new outfit. Then there's the problem of cost and the ecosystem. Smartphones are incredibly versatile. For one price, you get a fantastic camera, a media player, a gaming console, a web browser, and a communication device. A new AI gadget that costs several $100s, plus a monthly subscription, and does less than your phone is a tough sell for the average person. It needs to offer a benefit that is so compelling that it justifies the extra cost and the inconvenience of carrying another device. Right now, the main selling point is digital wellness and convenience, which might not be enough to convince the masses to make the switch. Finally, there is the app gap. Smartphones are powerful because of the millions of apps available in the App Store and Google Play. These new AI agents need to be able to interact with all of those services seamlessly. The Rabbit R1's approach of teaching an AI to use existing apps is clever, but it can be brittle. If Uber updates its app's design, the AI might break. Building direct partnerships with every important app and service is a monumental task. Until these AI agents can reliably do everything your phone can do, most people will see them as interesting accessories, not essential replacements. So, after exploring this emerging world of screen-free AI, we come back to the big question. Is this the new way of life? Are we on the verge of a revolution that will see us hang up on our smartphones for good? The answer, at least for today in mid-2025, is probably not. The smartphone is too good, too versatile, and too deeply embedded in our lives to disappear overnight. It is still the undisputed king of personal computing, a device that does almost everything incredibly well. The early versions of these AI devices are promising, but they are still first-generation products with limitations. However, that doesn't mean this movement isn't important. What devices like the Rabbit R1 and Humane AI Pin represent is the first serious challenge to the smartphone's dominance in over a decade. They are forcing a conversation about our relationship with technology. They are asking us to consider whether there is a better, healthier way to integrate the power of computing and AI into our lives. They are planting a seed for a future where we spend less time staring at screens and more time engaging with the world and the people around us. This, in itself, is a huge step forward. The path forward is likely to be a gradual transition, not a sudden revolution. We will see AI become more and more integrated into all of our devices. Our watches, our earbuds, and yes, even our phones will get smarter, more proactive, and more conversational. We will start to offload more and more digital tasks to these AI agents, relying on our screens less for utility and more for specific visual tasks like watching videos or video calling. The phone might evolve from being our primary interface into being the quiet, powerful hub that connects all of our smaller, more specialized AI companions. Ultimately, the success of this new paradigm will depend on us. It requires a collective desire for something different, a recognition that the way we currently use technology might not be the best way. These new devices are not just gadgets. They are a philosophical choice about how we want to live. They offer a future with less distraction, more presence, and a more human way of interacting with technology. The hardware and software will continue to improve, getting faster, smarter, and more capable. The real question is not whether the technology will be ready. The real question is, are we?